Hey, what's going on, guys? Nine Toes here, and I'm back with another live gameplay commentary for you. However, this time I'm going to be showing you some Feed the Beast in this gameplay commentary, live gameplay commentary, as a matter of fact. Purpose of the video is really to basically kind of draw comparisons between Feed the Beast and Tekkit, which are both mod packs for Minecraft. In the event you clearly didn't know, if this is the first time that you're looking at it, you just heard about it, what have you. I've played Tekkit before, and obviously I played Minecraft as well too. And at any rate, essentially, realistically, the differences between them all is they obviously do run Minecraft at its core. So you obviously do need Minecraft. But when Tekkit, I guess, first came out, and you had all kinds of automation and all kinds of different machines and all the things that you could do, it was actually pretty cool, and I was very, very impressed with it. As a matter of fact, and I've done actually quite a few videos on it. But then came out Feed the Beast. Mind you, this is now the middle of January 2013, where I first, I think, caught a whiff of Feed the Beast maybe 2 months ago, give or take, more or less. And of course, there was all the comparisons and all the drama that was between the two packs. Mostly, basically, that Feed the Beast had the support of the mod creators, and kind of all that good stuff. And I really didn't bite into it, mostly because, well, the name was kind of, I guess you could say off-putting, if you will. I mean, Feed the Beast. I just thought that was kind of a silly, ridiculous name for, any kind of a mod pack. But at any rate, once again, I figured I'd give it a shot, and I wanted to kind of make a quick video to basically highlight a couple of things, for those of you that are, currently playing Tekkit or even Minecraft, and maybe considering, maybe, checking something different, and maybe what are the differences or what have you. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get into really any crafting or recipes or any of that stuff, but really the key differences. Tekkit, the last version of Tekkit that I actually really played and kind of had it any, I guess you could say, real knowledge of was 3.1.2. And I'm aware that as of right now, there is, as of the moment I'm recording this, there's a version 3.1.3, which was my last handful of Tekkit videos, and it was buggy with some of the I want to say it was the BuildCraft that was just buggy. Some of the BuildCraft items in within that mod were just at least in our survival multiplayer server that we play on. We had issues where we couldn't use, for example, like redstone engines or any kind of engines, and we couldn't quarry. And it was real quick, as a matter of fact. Within, I think, one full real life day, we already had an energy condenser, and we pretty much can condense our way to anything. Which was kind of one of the biggest things, and one of the guys that we play with here in the server, he kind of had I guess you could say a little bit of an issue, preference, I guess is a better choice of words, with equivalent exchange. And in the newer version of Tekkit Lite, which just came out, as a matter of fact, earlier this month, just a handful of weeks ago. A couple of pros, and of course a couple of cons, went in it as well too. A couple of them being the pros, as far as the pros are concerned, was that it was going to use the latest version of Minecraft, being 1.4.6, which is what Feed the Beast was kind of already based on. And at any rate, the latest version of Tekkit was still using Minecraft 1.2.5. So at any rate, there was a couple, like I said, differences, not only with that, but also with some of the mods as well too. Between them all, Feed the Beast wasn't 100% at the time. I believe it didn't have any red power at all. There's a new version of equivalent exchange, which is now in Tekkit Lite, as an example, which is practically non-existent. So at any rate, I mean, those are kind of the key differences between the two. Was that you can't condense, and you can't do a lot of the end game type stuff Where, for example, in the last version of Tekkit, when we were playing Tekkit 3.1.3, we quickly went to endgame. I want to say within 3 real days, we were already had whatever we wanted, pretty much at that point. And then it was just at that point, just pretty much just building crazy sick houses and structures and what have you. Let's get back into Feed the Beast. This is the Dire Wolf 20 pack that we're playing. And to answer the question, yes, I'm using the Sphax PureBDcraft texture pack as well too. And well, I mean, again, it's everything that you know from Tekkit is here, with a couple of differences, and this being, one of them right here, as a matter of fact, Mistcraft. And Mistcraft really threw me for a loop. I didn't really understand it. I just thought it was kind of just another silly, game within a game, if you will. But actually, there's some really cool benefits with it, and it converted me. So, but I'm gonna touch on that in just a quick second. We started with basically when we first spawned in, we started with a little shack and what have you, and we grew to this place. And one of the cool things here are these barrels that are, as you can see, kind of in the glass. And the barrels hold one item. Let's just say, for example, whatever. Let's just pick on these trees. If I left click on that barrel, of course I empty out what was already in it, which was spruce saplings. So I'll go ahead and put those back. Just take the stack and just left click right on it, and there you go. So I'm gonna put my shovel back. So those are those are pretty cool. Again, I think we're in this maybe 3 days or so, and we're still trying to find, we're calling each other out, going, saying, hey, who's got copper, who's got rubber, things like that, which is actually, again, pretty cool, because again, it just raises the challenge, of the game. So it makes it completely different. Here, this is basically a machine room that we had constructed and built, and I quickly invested the time, first and foremost, to get a mining turtle. And in case you didn't know, it's probably one of the best and wisest decisions you can make when you first spawn into a new world. As soon as you can get your hands on 3 diamonds, reason being is because the pick, on a turtle, it never wears. Whereas, for example, my pick here, it will obviously take damage and wear eventually. And one of the things already built into Minecraft is these anvils. But the anvils, kind of sadly, it's almost not even worth repairing these anymore, because it costs so much with with XP, and you can't even repair some of these anyways, because if it's enchanted, you're kind of done. So it almost behooves you, really, if anything, just to build a new one and just kind of use a mob spawner, which we found here in Mistcraft as an example, to kind of grind up some XP and obviously use to enchant your stuff. So it's not that big of a deal. But like I said, a couple of differences, if you will, between the two packs, and I'm talking more specifically now, Tekkit versus Feed the Beast, is there's the addition of new items and new blocks and new things that you can do and what have you. And I gotta say, I've been very, very impressed, with this mod pack so far. All our usual favorites that we know and we love, for example, from Industrial Craft and Buildcraft, are still here. Red Power as well too. The addition of Mistcraft, which is pretty cool. Of course, there's Tomcraft. I hope I'm saying that right. It just, again, it changes a lot of the scope and dynamics of the game. So my sword here, you'll see I have Vorpal, whatever, and it gives you the opportunity to basically, when you of course slay mobs, even friendly mobs, as a matter of fact, you get an opportunity to basically take their heads and put them on the wall as a kind of a trophy. So it's kind of a cool thing. But we got away from these huge bedrooms and what have you, because we never really go to sleep. We're always doing something. There's always something kind of going on. But yeah, this is basically a look at the outside of the facility. We currently have right now, I saved up, and again, mind you, this is 3 days, for 2 low voltage solar arrays, and a little over halfway to getting one mid-volt solar array, which will basically, of course, be able to juice up more stuff, faster, and use maybe some higher end stuff as well too. It gives you a whole new respect, for example, for the game and whatnot. But we've had to basically farm and grind up all this reed for books, flax as an example. One of the red power additions of red power as an example, you can actually plant it, whereas in Tekkit it was virtually worthless. Actually, pretty much was worthless except for turning it into paints. But here now I can grow flax and I can get string out of it, which is essentially a better way to get wool. We started off with a small little farm. There's corn, as a matter of fact, which I'm growing here, in addition to wheat. I don't know too much about this plant just yet, and I'll cover that in a little bit. But now you got carrots, which I'm growing some carrots here, and some potatoes there as well too. Just more food. Speaking of food, piggy. But gotta love that one, the little skelly head. But now you've got a couple more things as far as food is concerned, because now you can obviously get the potatoes and put them in a furnace, and you got baked potatoes as an example. The carrots. Of course, you got your chicken and your beef and all that other good stuff, like anything else. But the corn that I just showed you, put them in the oven, you get kaba corn, fish, the usual suspect. But this is new. You can now make popcorn, and popcorn is just kind of simple. All you got to do is just basically get the there you go, the corn kernel, put those in a furnace, you get popcorn. Cool thing about popcorn is that it's not maybe the greatest sustenance in the world, but it does give you speed, kind of like as if you had some coffee, which again, if you guys had followed me and kind of know, I love the industrial craft crops and crossbreeding and all that good stuff, and I've yet to obviously get there. I just barely started, as a matter of fact, but again, it's all the same things. It's just nothing really, too much different. Here's an enchantment room that we had made up real quickly. Obviously, you can enchant your stuff, whatever you got, armor, weapons, what have you. Here's some storage. Across the street, nether portal. Nothing new there. We've seen that before. There we go. And I kind of made a real quick crossbreeding nursery. And as you can see, I just barely started this. I want to say just a few hours ago. So, one of the other co-partners within the server, good buddy Dizzy Aaron, he found some nether wart when he was in the nether looking for glowstone and other stuff. So he brought me some nether wart, and I'm going to start crossbreeding that for some higher tier plants. So literally, I just barely started this. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's just to kind of get us started and going and what have you. But as we again start to get into the other aspects of Mistcraft, which I want to touch on. As a matter of fact, as I opened one of the books, I believe it's this one, yeah, Mining World. It gives you basically the opportunity to create custom locations or biomes or worlds, if you will, so that you can specifically design an area that is ideal for what you're trying to do. So in other words, if you're trying to farm, there's one for farming. If you're trying to basically do something with animals or something with trees, you can do that as well too. Here we have in the mining world, this is of course a world that's best suited for mining. Let the turtles run crazy down here. We got a quarry set up as well too, and basically this whole place is all for our loot that we of course get from quarrying. And as you can see, this is all the diamonds that we have. Well, I think we have a couple more from the quarry, but we're not going bonkers and getting all kinds of just absolutely ridiculous stuff, or condensing, because as of right now, I don't even think they're going to bring it back, to be quite frank. I know that they said that they're working on it and they're going to do something, but a little bit different. But quite frankly, I think it was just a little too easy. You can get to end game real quick, with the other mod pack. With Tekkit, the way it was, if you will. Oh, hi, creeper. And here was the last quarry that we had, that we were running, making sure he doesn't, get in here. Which, again, actually, these are pretty cool. These Obsidian pressure plates, it detects if it's a player or if it's a hostile mob or any kind of a mob. If it is a mob, not a player, then it won't open the door for him, so that's pretty slick. But pretty fancy little setup here. And as you can see, we actually took this down because I think we're just we're moving the quarry since this is done. But we got so much obsidian, it's just ridiculous. But and of course tons of different ores and what have you. There we go. We got a stack of diamond in there. But hopefully I can get out of here without getting blown up. Well, okay, so he's not here. But yeah, I mean, again, this is just one example. Let me just make sure that he's not behind me, and he's not. So as I go back, for example, I use this book to now go back to our main base. It's as simple as basically going, between worlds, like as if you were to use a nether portal, what have you, to kind of switch between everything. Chunk loaders become, kind of the new thing to as you switch between worlds. As an example, if I've got something macerating and grinding up here, or if I'm extracting something or what have you, and I want to kind of keep this, rolling and running while I'm away in a different dimension, I obviously can. So. It really just, again, takes it to a whole nother level. The challenge now with, not being able to condense and whatnot, is different. You've got, for example, instead of, the alchemy bags that Tekkit, brought in, you've got a canvas bag, which actually takes a bunch of string to create. But here I've, basically kept... some of the things I obviously want to keep kind of at bay. Instead of a philosopher's stone, at the moment we have a minium stone. Hope I'm saying that right. Kept a couple things of food. My wireless turtles, obviously, on deck just in case I need them. Got some popcorn for food, and again, remember, it also gives you speed. So just kind of keep those, obviously in inventory. But essentially, realistically, that's it, guys. If you were kind of, thinking between, let's say, for example, if you're strictly playing Minecraft and you thought, well, I've heard about Tekkit, I've heard about Feed the Beast, or maybe you have played Tekkit like I have for a while, and just heard so many things about Feed the Beast. I'm going to tell you this, performance-wise, my FPS has never been better. Well, I wouldn't say it's entirely say never been better, but as far as survival multiplayer, it has not been better. So the performance has been very, very good, and I haven't had any lag crashes as well too. So something to kind of consider. You got, of course, you can make these pretty blocks, but of course, you got the oil, and then these just gorgeous biomes with these massive trees. It's just, again, there's basically take Tekkit and add on it, and you've got yourself Feed the Beast. Again, aside from the funky name, if I was the creator of it, I definitely would not have named it that. But anyway, with that said, essentially I kind of wanted to basically bring at least a little something to those of you that might have kind of thought maybe between the two mod packs, which is the one to go with. And even within Feed the Beast, you've got a couple more options as well too, Minecraft and some others as well too. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think that this community is an interesting community, and it's one that's going to be growing, I believe, exponentially as the popularity of Minecraft obviously gets stronger and bigger. I truly definitely enjoy the game. I think it's a great game, and I know a lot of people enjoy the game as well too. But and there's choices obviously in, I'll take that, in what how and wish, or how you wish to play, and what mods, if any, that you want to of course use and go with, should you wish to go with any. So anyway, there's essentially it, guys. I mean, you got, real quickly before I sign off, I gotta show you these. These are, I just think that these are just absolutely gorgeous. The colors are just amazing. But the new trees, within the new biomes. But I mean, just look at the colors of those trees. I mean, the leaves, it's just incredible. I absolutely love it. I think it's just great. Not to sound too, girly or anything like that, but at any rate, I mean, like I said, again, it's just, something to, kind of give you guys a comparison. I probably will, and of course this is really the call of our server admin, Dizzy Aaron, who I'm sure you probably caught my last co-op video with him, as a matter of fact. And anyways, with that said, he made the decision to kind of give it a shot, check it out, and you know what, I gotta say, I've been very, very impressed so far with it. And even though I know it's all a work in process and whatnot, I'm actually very excited to see what they do more with this pack, as the future holds. So if there's any questions or anything else that of course you guys want to see or what have you, please leave it down below. Otherwise, take care guys, and happy crafting.